Good morning, everyone. Rise and shine. Good morning, DVE store, Guy Cochran. Hi, very nice to see you. And we're nearly ready for our 7 o'clock broadcast. Good morning. It's a lovely day here in Boundary Bay. Hi, Susan, Klingen, Warbird, Carrie. Very nice to see you. We're all getting ready. And we'll be live in 1 minute switching. So it's a wonderful day. And it's an incredible day to be out here in nature. You're hearing the birds chirping. Yes, DVE store, absolutely. It's beautiful. So let's go live. So here we go. So I'm just giving you a quick view here of the neighborhood. You can see that the sun is rising. There we go. We got a bit of overcast, but actually that is perfect. It's actually perfect. And the nest is doing very well. I'm just going to zoom in for you. A lot of activity there this morning. And you can see we don't have shimmering now, which really makes things very good. It's a beautiful day, isn't it, Janie? It is, it is. And you can hear the birds. We've got a very good microphone on here, on the camera, and I'm going to switch over now to give you a close-up of the nest to the other camera. So there's the switch, and this is much better. We don't have any shimmering, and I can get very close to the nest. Hey, it's beautiful, isn't it? It's such a beautiful day, and you can see two at the moment very clear. Isn't it beautiful? There you go. It's a very good view. And my goodness, we get such a close-up here. Let me just correct the lighting a little bit. It might be a little bit too bright. No, I think it's fine. You can actually see them very well. Absolutely. And you can hear the birds chirping, yes. And we're lucky we got some overcast. So it's incredible. You can look at the distance now because it's so clear in the morning. We don't have any shimmering, and it's, there's no hot air rising, and it just gives this incredibly clear view. This morning I had a very interesting incident. A person stopped, and he said, "Hey, I've got something cool to show you." So I thought, oh my goodness, what does he want? What is there cool to show me? So he gets out a bucket from his car, right? He gets out a bucket from his car, and he gets 2 sticks with a string. And I thought, what on earth is this, a street artist? What is he doing? And then he takes the string and the 2 sticks, and he puts the string into the bucket that was full of soap water. And I think you understand what's going to happen now. And he produced the most beautiful soap bubbles, which I actually have on video. I taped him, and I'll try. I've never done this, but I should be able to maybe blend in that later. But I might get him there to do a bit of performance if he's so willing to. He can do some performance once when he comes, because he lives nearby, and can show you that those really beautiful huge bubbles. He made a bubble within a bubble within a bubble, and as the sun rises you get these incredible reflections, these colors, these refractions of course, and you get these you get a kaleidoscope of colors. It's absolutely beautiful. But you can see the 2 here, by the way, are doing very well, and we have this very clear picture. The 3rd one is always difficult to find, so I'm not sure at the moment where he is or she is. By the way, if you haven't voted yet, hi Kathy, very nice to see you, good morning. If you haven't voted yet, do go on the community page of SassePhoto. Just go to SassePhoto YouTube and give it That would be great, wouldn't it, Susan? And go to the community page and just give your own vote for which name we should give them. Which name should we give these triplets, right? And you've handed a lot of names in, and unfortunately YouTube only allows the choice of 5 different categories or 5 different choices. So I had to unfortunately make my own choice. I tried to put everything in, but YouTube wouldn't allow that. So, well, Osprey Mama and I took random 5 choices and put them in. So do have your vote, please. I'm just going to switch over again. Let's see. Just close. Oh, let's get it a little bit closer again. I mean, this is amazing. Look how close I am with this super lens. I don't know, Susan, if you can only vote once. I'm not absolutely sure. You can try it. I don't know. But probably, I would guess so. You can only vote probably once per username. I don't know the rules of YouTube, but I assume that's the way. But try. If you can vote many times, go ahead. You're welcome to do that. Hi, Patty. Good morning to you. Isn't it a lovely morning? It's absolutely marvelous. Everything is working so fine, and I'm delighted. Okay, I'm going to try and let me just see if I can do this. I'm just going to zoom in and out a little bit. Get this ready. If I can do this. Let me see. Well, the sprinklers are very wet this morning here. You've got these automatic sprinklers on, of course, to keep the gardens nice. And occasionally we have a bit of... just switch over here. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so now you should be able to see me, and I can read your comments. So very good morning to everyone. So we have a lovely morning here. I've been getting up this morning at 5 a.m. and everything is just working so solid fine, which is remarkable, the new technology. And thanks to especially to the DVE store for helping and also supporting this. It's great. Everything's working so well. So I'm absolutely delighted. And I can see your comments right here on my screen. There's not a single computer in here. Oh, the sprinklers have just stopped. So I have to see, when do they stop? At 7:05. Okay, now I'm learning all the tricks here of the neighborhood. I know when the sprinklers go on and when it's time. So it's very nice, actually. But you can see we got a lovely morning here. And we had a wonderful Father's Day yesterday. For those of you who have celebrated Father's Day, it was a wonderful Father's Day. And yeah, it was really great. Sandy Williams, a note from another nest in trio eaglets. Ah, the last 2 fledged this morning. Is that so? The first one was an accidental fledge. Yeah, accidental fledge. As knocked off the nest. Exciting morning for 3 eaglets at the trio nest. Absolutely. Hi, Terry also. So that was a message from Sandy. And here's a message from Terry. Good morning, everyone. A beautiful morning, isn't it? It's so nice that I can read these messages live out to you and enjoy this, isn't it? And you've got these incredible nature sounds here. It's such a privilege because I'm in a beautiful neighborhood here. Oh, I can see the 2 heads sticking out now. So let me just switch over quickly. So you can see, I mean, it's so nice to see that. And, you know, in the morning, it's just so clear. Everything is so clear. If you can see the difference in the afternoon, how it shimmers, this is just magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. It's a great trio morning. It is. It is. Yeah, the parents were out this morning, so we still have high tide here. It's a fairly high tide, and for those of you who haven't seen what the neighborhood looks like and what my setup looks like, let me just try and zoom out completely, and I'll give you a quick view. Just wait till there's a car coming. It's going to wait. There are very few cars here. It's very good. Morning. Fine, I'm live now. I'm broadcasting the nest live, so we can see it. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so let's let me just switch over. Okay, so I'll show you what it looks like this morning. So that's my setup here. That's the big camera that looks right into the nest, gives you these incredible close-ups. And there's all my gear, lots of gear. I'm just gonna pull over the camera a little bit. So there's my car. One second, I just straighten the, let me just straighten this. Straighten the tripod so that you don't get seasick. There we go, that's better. Yeah, so that's my setup. Working very well now, absolutely well. So I'm really delighted. Got two screens there, and everything is just perking away. You can hear the fan here from the inverter working very hard, and I'm running this all through my cell phone at the moment. So quite nice. You can see the one monitor, the other one's lying down there. I've got two monitors there. So that's my little setup. Anyway, all going very well. And there's the nest. You can see how far it is. Look at that. Look at the distance, going all the way to the United States back there. That's in the US. And the nest here is, of course, on the Canadian side. So it's all cool. And here we switch back to the big lens. And there's a close-up. Isn't that marvelous? So maybe we're going to be lucky that the parents come in again. The Glacier Bay nest has bobbleheads. Is that so? It is okay, Alaska. The white-bellied sea eagles in Australia laid one egg so far. Well, that's interesting. Thank you, Susan, for that. So obviously you're following a lot of nests, I can see. That's great. Lots of things going on. Now I'm going to try and see if I can do a playback. I've never done that, and I wonder if I can give you a playback here of the person who had these beautiful bubbles this morning. So, and again, I've never done this, so
I keep inventing new tricks. Thank you. I think you can really help the world, but other people won't accept it.
oh, that is so cool.
Oh, it's super cool. I keep inventing new tricks.
Okay, I think the sound is back now. I think the sound is back. see what mistake I made. I have to switch back from play, otherwise you can't hear me. Okay, so I think I get it now. So this should all be fine now. Now you should be able to hear me again. Okay, I think so that's fine. Anyway, I learned that. So when I go on playback, the microphone gets switched off. And you just hear playback, and I have to then switch back, otherwise you can't hear me. Okay, got it. It's all fine, it's all good. So we can switch back to 1 now. So yeah, it was not a technical error. That's a nice thing. It's just learning the equipment. So if I play back something from the day, I have to remember that later to go back again into live, otherwise you can't hear me. So okay, that's easy, no problem. So it's all fine, it's all good. It's all very good. It's fine. Let's see if I switch the filter here in. That's okay, we're fine. I'm just trying to find the right exposure because the sun is rising so quickly now. And we're getting quite bright. Thank you very much. I just see that, Terry, thank you. That is so nice. So any donations, and that is really very welcome. Thank you, Terry. Those donations go into adding gigabytes to my live stream, and I'll live stream more and more because you're sponsoring it, which is very generous. And last time you were all very generous. It really helps because I cover all the cellular costs that way because I'm on my own network here. Well, I'm not on my own network. I'm on my own broadcasting network, but I'm using, of course, cellular data. So let's just switch to camera 2 again. I mean, it's getting such, oh my goodness, here we go. There you go. So I think that's all 3 now. Isn't that marvelous? I think I've never been able to show you all 3 so clearly as now before. So that is an absolute first on camera. Well, Sandy says, what a beautiful place for eagles. Isn't it? It's absolutely marvelous. And I mean, now you can see all 3 so clearly because it's early in the morning. It's just marvelous. So the sun is coming from the other side. That's the only unfortunate thing. So the contrast may not be as good as possible, but my camera is picking out all the details now. It's really nice. So I'm going to let you enjoy the 3. I'm just going to get a sip of water quickly. Well, you know what's absolutely marvelous? It's all working. It's all working so well. And you have an HD picture, which I was never able to do before. A live picture, of an eagle's nest in high quality. It's absolutely... Hi, Klingon. Very nice. 3 thumbs. Yes. The bubbles remind us, says Janie, the bubbles remind us of our inner child and symbolic with the eagles. Yeah, I don't know what to say, but this person was amazing. I mean, just stops with his car, gets out, and shows me all this. And I was just so amazed. And those are the things that happen when you just get out and do something, I mean, it wasn't easy for me to get up at 5, but then you never know what happens, right? Look, here we are enjoying the eaglets, 3 of them, which you can see in such clarity. And it's in such a peaceful neighborhood. And my goodness, we're so lucky. You can hear the birds. And it's just marvelous, isn't it? Absolutely marvelous. So I'm just going to let it run now and let you enjoy it. That's what it's all about. I'm going to let you enjoy everything here. I'm just going to let it stream for quite some time because it's just working so well. It's amazing. Yeah, I think Mama and Papa were there earlier, but I think they're back hunting. So the low tide today is, I think it was 11, around 11:30. So we still got a couple of hours. The eagles usually go out about 2 hours before low tide, where they go hunting. So I'm just switching backwards from one camera to the next to give you all the close-ups in absolute high quality. Isn't it amazing? So let's see, I'm going to type something in the chat for you. Let's see if you can see that. Thank you for... Let me see if this is going to work. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much, Sandy. That is very, very generous. So thanks, Terry, and thanks, Sandy. That is very nice. So I'm just going to go stream and you relax. I'm sure you're sitting somewhere, wherever you may be. And it's just such a wonderful day. It is. I should have brought my coffee. Next time I'm going to bring my coffee. I didn't know it would go so well. Because usually something happens, but this is just going so extremely well. It's just such a good Monday morning. So let's go back to a close-up. Oh my goodness, you see them very clear. The sun is now falling on the nest, although it's coming slightly at a skew angle. Hey, good morning, KK says. KK says, very beautiful area for the nest, but the nest itself scares me. Why does it scare you? Hey, Osprey Mama, isn't that beautiful? It's a marvelous morning, and you can see we are alive, having a beautiful view of the triplets, actually. It's quite incredible. Everything is just purring away and working so well. And it's very peaceful. Why does the nest scare you? It's not a big nest, actually. It's not a big nest, but it looks fairly stable. And it's unusual because it's right on top of this tree, right? It's right on top, and you have this unusual angle, which you only have from here, from one particular side of the hill, one particular point in the street, where I can do this. And what's also remarkable, there's so many coincidences here that are in favor. It's the angle, it's a very quiet street, it has many nice neighbors, and the house in front where I am, I'm just going to show you that, 1 second. Let's see. So this is another remarkable thing. You can see, I'm just showing you here, that's my big camera, and I can hear the birds, isn't it beautiful? And here, that place is at the moment deserted, which is, they're probably going to build something here, but can I adjust saturation and color? Oh, that's difficult, you know, Osprey Mama, because the sun is coming from the back, okay? The colors should be fine. At least I think they're fine on my, you know, they're fine. What you're seeing through the main camera is the lights coming from the back, okay? The lights coming from the back, and that's why it's a little bit difficult. But you can see the colors are actually very good here on the video camera. But what we're doing now is, of course, when I zoom into the nest, which I'm doing right now, the light is coming from the back, okay? The light's coming from the back. And when I switch to the other camera, what you are seeing here is, I think the colors are actually quite good. But the light's coming from sort of the side back, which means I can't choose the angle, and that's what's giving these colors, right? But you can see actually the colors and the saturations are quite nice. They're quite okay. But you know what I can do? It's a little bit too bright. Okay, that's what I'm doing. Hang on. That's better, I think. It's too bright. It's too bright. Now it's better. So Osprey Mama, I think what you're trying to tell me is I needed a little bit of adjustment here with it was probably too bright. I was trying to brighten it up a little bit so you could see it better. But I've darkened it now. There you go. That's better, isn't it? It's a lot better. And that goes much better. So I simply had the ISO on manual to give you a better, yeah, it's better. So everything's fine. Good comment. Thank you very much. We're all fine. We're all fine. You know, it's very difficult to see this because there's sunlight, and I'm glad you give me the feedback. I can't see the screen properly because it's just bright, and you're sitting probably in an air-conditioned room or sitting out in your veranda or wherever you may be, and you have a much better view of what's going on. So that's great. Thank you. It's all good. Okay, here. You say it's underexposed. Okay, well, we can increase the exposure. 1 second, and I can do that. 1 second. Let me just switch over and then change. 1 second. Let me see how I can do that. Like that. Oops, there we go. Here's a triplet nest. Maybe like this, maybe somewhere around there. Yes, so you see that Klingon warbird, you see exactly the issue I have, where the eagles are so dark, right? They're so dark. So when I zoom in, they're underexposed, right? And then when I zoom out, everything looks overexposed. So you're both right. So actually what I've done now is I have increased the exposure when I zoom in, and I will decrease the exposure when I zoom out. How's that? So that's better. They're just so dark. See, now it gets overexposed again, but it's okay. Okay, who knows what bird that is? Did you just hear that one? This I can't even imitate it properly, but let's see if anyone knows what that was. That's looking over into Washington there. And you can see what a fine balance this is. We're just between the telephone lines here and the and the electrical lines. So it's a very fine balance. We just get this angle where we can look right at the nest with such clarity. Now we're overexposed again. Yeah, I'm learning how to operate this camera so that, you know, even though there's back illumination, it should be bright enough now. That's fine. Woodpecker, yes. Yes, yes. Woodpecker. Very good. Oh, there's a squirrel. I got to show you this one. It always comes over there. Let me just see if I can switch over. It's just too funny. It's just too funny. Where's my squirrel? Where are you now, you naughty squirrel? There it is. There's a squirrel, he's just sitting there. But he always runs the lines there. There he is. There you go. I always see, this is a circus act I have every morning. There he runs. There, that's a nice change, isn't it? Running backwards and forwards every day. You see the squirrel, isn't it wonderful? I can show you all these things. It's and all live, isn't that amazing? I'm so happy. Yes, thanks for the thumbs up. Absolutely, I really appreciate. I really appreciate your donations already. So thanks for the two of you who just donated. That goes into streaming as much as possible, which is wonderful. And thanks for the thumbs up. It takes very little effort just to press and click thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, do subscribe. Sandy says, question, Do those electrical lines have protective coverings around poles? Okay, so the squirrel was not running on an electrical line. That's a telephone line, okay? So that's a phone line. And the second question is, do they have protective covers? So, okay. So what we're seeing here is, okay, we're going to get into distribution. The answer is they're not three phases coming in, at least as far as I can see. No, there are three phases coming in. Sorry, there's a transformer, I can see that. They are not insulated, no. But eagles usually wouldn't sit there because these are in the residential and they sort of hang. You know what I mean? They sort of hang. They're not the pole typical 12, 15,000 volts lines, and they don't have enough covering is the answer. Okay, that's the answer. They're not covered enough. I think we went through that because I think a year ago I went with David Hancock to a site, if you remember, and we found a dead eagle, and that was exactly because it got electrocuted near a transformer. Why does it get electrocuted near a transformer? Because they don't insulate the lines properly. So that's a very good remark. Osprey Mama says, those who donate during the broadcast, please email to Kristen. Absolutely. Receive a thank you. Thank you. That's exactly SassePhoto@gmail.com. And do give me a few days. You will receive it. I was just experimenting a lot yesterday and making sure everything works. And it's just marvelous to see my this technology working so exquisitely well. It's an absolute delight to see this working. I can't tell you that. Sufficiently. I know I'm repeating myself, it's getting boring, but it's just a wonder that I can do this. And it's so easy. So you will usually find me live on this channel. Okay, so on the live channel. I won't be doing this as events because it's too complicated. It's very easy for me to go live. I don't need a computer or anything. I just press YouTube live and that's it. So and it's usually going to be around this time in the morning because it's the best light, and I'll also be trying to come in the evening. Tomorrow morning I can't come because I got a commitment, but Wednesday I'll be back, but I'll probably be back either tonight or tomorrow night. Okay, tomorrow night, but for sure tomorrow night to if I'm not there in the morning, I'll be there in the evening. And it'll probably be later in the evening because in the evening we have the problem that it gets so hot and you can't really look into the nest. And as you can see, the little ones have gone back to sleep now. So I'm just going to switch over. I think they've gone back to sleep. Yeah. Thank you, Sandy. I just got your email. That's very kind. So, Terry, I know your email anyway, but do send me a reminder, please, because I got a lot of things going on. So just send me a reminder, and I'll very happily, send you pictures. I mean, that's a big delight to do. Hi, Bethel91. Yes, you saw that I'm live. So this is the typical time I would be live. Not tomorrow, but after tomorrow again, and then in the evenings, probably, well, it depends how the shimmering is. The light is much better in the evening because it comes from the other side, but the ground gets so warm, and the picture's not that good. I think our little ones are sleeping now. Now there you go. Put him in the center there. Yeah, and do vote. Don't forget to vote. Vote your favorite name. Go to the SassePhoto on YouTube. Just press where it says community, and you'll see the vote for. We could only give 5 choices. Okay, for those of you who just joined, it says, I submitted my name. Where are they? The problem was, YouTube only allows for 5 choices, and I wanted to keep this within the YouTube channel. Otherwise, if you use voting polls from other websites, it gets really confusing. Plus, they have these horrible ads and things I don't like. So I'm keeping this strictly to YouTube, and we had to select 5. I think we chose the first five we could find. And so please, please make your choice so that these little ones get names. And then comes the next task for you. As we continue, we have to see who's who. We'll have the names, but then comes the very difficult part for all of those who have eagle eyes to sit there and say, I know this. Oh, here comes the squirrel again. That's nice. It's coming back. Let me just show you the squirrel. Let's go back there. It's come live again. Where are you, squirrel? There he is. He's a real funny one. He knows he's live. He's really posing now. Sleeping and growing, that's what they do, isn't it? Hi, Patty. They are. They're really sleeping and growing. I think he must be at the end now. He's nearly reaching the end of the pole. Now he's behind the tree. Oh, that's wonderful. Isn't that marvelous? Yes, this is again. Okay, I'll explain. That's a good question. Someone's saying, "Is that safe for the squirrel?" I'll explain that. It's a very good question. Okay, hang on. I'll just get you. I'll change the view. We change the view and zoom out a little bit, and yeah, you can see two at the moment, right? I mean, you probably see it all clear because the sun is straight into my face, so I can't see it. So anyway, tell me if you see two or three at the moment. Nature is its best, isn't it? Okay, so the question was, can a squirrel get electrocuted? So first of all, this is a telephone line, so the answer is no. But let's assume it was an electrical line. Okay, let's assume it was an electrical line. This was one phase. So here comes the interesting thing. You do not get electrocuted. Even you've seen these high voltage lines. As long as you are only on one. Okay, only on one, because you have the potential, exactly the potential of that line, and you're not closing the circuit. So as long as you are insulated, you may be at a high voltage or whatever, but you're not closing the circuit. It's only if you took a long stick and would touch the ground, that would be detrimental. Or if you took a long stick and you would touch the phase next to it, that would be detrimental. Or if you took a long stick and you would touch the metal, because it has to be insulated from the metal pole, if it's not a wooden pole. So that's the answer. So no, the squirrel will not get electrocuted, and neither will you. You could dance on there as long as you do not touch the ground or another phase. You're fine. Quite interesting, isn't it? You're not closing the circuit. Now you have to admit this is an incredibly beautiful eagle's nest, isn't it? I mean, look at the view that they have. It's just so exquisite. Oh, there's squirrels just going backwards and forth, but I won't show the squirrel again. I think we've seen enough of it now. But it's such an exquisite nest, isn't it? It's I can't get over it. Thanks, Osprey Mama. Well, I mean, electrical engineering is my other degree, and I worked for a long time in electrical engineering. That's why I know this, and I should know this stuff inside out. If I don't, that's really bad. So you could ask me a lot of questions on these topics. Ah, that's the train. That's the train that comes from the, probably the one coming from the US now. So it comes across the border right here, and you could hear it. Preening, yes. Okay, winged, I can never say these words. Wingers, gosh, how do you say this? Winger sizing, yes. Preening, yes. What? Exactly. So I'm just going to quickly, so the sound is going to go off for a moment, but what I want to do is I just, see if everything's still there, yeah. The sound will go off, but for those of you who haven't seen, the man who came this morning was quite amazing. So as I said, I got up at 5 this morning, and suddenly a car stops, and a man gets out, very nice, and says, asked me about my equipment, so he knew what was going on. We talked a bit about cameras, and he said, I think I've got something cool for you. And he brings out these buckets and these long sticks and strings, and dips these strings with the long sticks into the bucket, and it was soap water, and he makes the most beautiful bubbles. So I'm just going to try. So the sound will go off just for a few minutes, but the picture will stay. So I'm going to just look in the meantime if I can find some scenes of the beautiful bubbles he did. So just hang on.
Early morning, and you can't see through it at all. It's just pure color. It's like it's not even real. I actually have some photos of it on Instagram. Where's the wind going? Look at that, eh?
So cool.
Thank you. I think you can really help the world, but other people won't accept it.
Oh, that is so cool.
It's super cool. I keep inventing new tricks.
Okay, we're back live. So this worked now. I managed now to switch over from one to the next. And I hope you enjoyed that. That actually worked very well, the playback. So that was taken a few minutes ago. And the colors come out so beautifully. Yeah, I'm just testing the sound, everything's fine, so that's very good. So now I know how to do that. I can show you playback, which is great. So if I take any scenes, I can show them to you, which is marvelous. And I can entertain you with what I've just seen. Ah, that's so great. Wonderful. This is just getting better and better all the time. Yeah, bye, Susan. We're just going to continue streaming as long as it's nice, you know. I want to be streaming at least 1 hour. Hi Patty, nice to see you. When are you coming back to our area to enjoy this? Come, why don't you come up, Patty, if you can. That'll be very cool. Patty's been here before. At least twice, I think, at least twice. Yes, that's right. Thanks for putting in the comments, Osprey Mama. Yes, you're right. We saw all three. So if you spool back, you can spool back in the video. Actually, you can do that. You'll see if you spool back that the other three were live, and they were all up, and now they're back and sleeping. That's what they do, eat and sleep. And the low tide is coming up at 11:30. So around 9:30 it'll get really busy. That's when the supermarket's open, and it's midshipman time in all shelves. So they're going to empty the shelves as fast as they can until they get filled up by the next tide, which is the next delivery. You're thinking about it, Patty. That's nice. Do that. Well, you know, as long as this nest is here, you should come. Seriously, stay with us, and we'll be very happy. It's a beautiful time. And this nest is very, very special. As you can see, I think they're 6 to 7 weeks old. So we still have a long time ahead. And it's unusual because the other eaglets in our area are now quite busy practicing. They're still not in fledging time, so we're far behind California and so on. But these are far behind, which is good. So we have a lot good times ahead to enjoy this. Yes, I think they're somewhere to 6 to 7 weeks. I'll have to ask, you know what? Why don't you all take a closer look, and Mama, Osprey Mama, and all of you who are experienced, and you estimate the age from what you see. What do you think they are? How old do you think they are? Do you think I'm right with 6 or 7, or do you say no, they are 8 weeks, or what do you think? That's a real old car. That's quite interesting. I got my answer, yes, and I hope it's correct, okay? I mean, I don't know for sure. All I know is that this is likely the 2nd year where they're there. We had another, you know what? I'm going to take you on a drive. I'm going to take you on a drive one time down from the nest. I'll put my camera in the car And I'll show you the whole area. How's that? And I'll show you where the other nest is and what it looks like in the area and so on. So you've got lots to look forward to. Lots of broadcasts. I won't do that today, but I'll do it another time. You know, we'll drive into. It's nice when it's very busy there, so we'll do it on a Friday or so, or Saturday, because then it's very busy. Lots of people are there, and then you can see how they all eat ice cream and all enjoying themselves. So I'll leave that for that day. Can I zoom in on the one? Of course I can. Let's do it. Hang on. Okay, let's. Yeah, that's probably as good as I get it now. I'll try and put a little bit more light on it. Oh, wait a second, that was not correct. Okay. That's probably too much, right? Yeah. Sorry, that was a bit too bright. I'm just trying to get it bright so that you can see it better, okay? So you can have a better look. Looks wonderful. Feathers, yes, Osprey Mama, I understand that. I understand. I'm trying to. I hope it's good enough now. We have a little bit of shimmering starting already. You can see as it heats up. But I think you can. There he's looking straight at us now. I'll try and get even closer. I mean, this is an insane distance. You have to think about this. This is an insane distance, what we're seeing here. And I'm giving you a close-up of a single eaglet there. So, I know it's not perfectly clear. You say, well, Christian, can't you do better? No, I can't. I've got the best lens there is. I've got the best equipment there is. And I've got the best position there is at the moment. It's just so far. So, well, you know, there's always a way to improve. I could do one thing. I could try later and get a video of them from another angle. Not looking into the nest, but, you know, when they pop their heads out, to try and show you it a little bit closer and then show you the playback. Maybe I could do that. Hi, Pilot Mom. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for the donations. All these donations are very welcome. I so appreciate it. And it's really great. And again, send an email to SassePhoto@gmail.com, please. Yeah, Osprey Mama has it. She does it so well. Exactly. And you're going to get a nice picture from me. Or maybe even two. Okay, so really thank you so much. It's, as I said, this all goes, I'm streaming this from my own cell phone bill. And, you know, this makes it very easy for me to come here every day and show you the best possible. Okay, we're going to zoom out a little bit again because, but anyway, you can decide whether I'm right or wrong. Do you think they're 6 to 7 weeks old? Any thoughts there? We are the experts here. Carrie says, every view and every light gives us information and enjoyment. So appreciate your efforts for sharing with us. Well, thank you, Carrie. I do too. I really like that. That helps. Yes, 7 to 8 weeks, says Osprey Mama. Carrie says, Carrie 216. So there's a Carrie Miller. And there's a Carrie 216. Says, this may be a silly question, but are bald eagles protected in Canada as they are? Absolutely, as they are in the US. Yes, they are. Absolutely, they are protected. But we have different laws, so protection in a different, in a different way. And again, it depends on the province. Now, the absolute expert on that is David Hancock. I can tell you a little bit. So yes, they are definitely protected, but they are not an endangered species. Neither are they in the U.S. Okay, they are not under the Endangered Species Act. However, they are protected in the U.S. You're not allowed to even pick up a feather. Here in Canada, or at least here in British Columbia, we are. I have got a big collection of feathers, and it's completely legal. However, you're not allowed to take them across the border you will get immense fines if you do so. Okay, so you have to know the law very well. So only if you go 2 miles south here, the laws are very different. But to answer your question, they're protected in both countries, and I believe they are on the increase. I believe that. We see more eagles in urban areas than we've ever seen before, and that's wonderful. And I can tell you, David Hancock is doing a marvelous job. The man is 81 now, and he's so disciplined. It's incredible. And he insists that every time that trees are taken down, because new houses are built, construction sites are coming up, that if there's an eagle nest in the area, that the utility or city or construction site or whoever may be responsible has to put up a new eagle nest somewhere else to compensate for it. And that's what I call true conservation, and a very wise way of conservation. So I think it's great. Yes, Carrie260 says, I'm familiar with US laws. I have to read up about the Canadian laws. And I think they're very similar, Carrie260. I think they are really similar. And there's no silly question. Please, bombard me with questions. I will do my best to find out. And if I don't, we'll note down your question. If I don't know the answer, we'll note it down and I'll find the answer. I'm going to zoom way past the nest now and see if I can show you a little bit. Yeah, it's all, you see, it's all in the shade there. Now that's the US there, but you can't see it very clear because, of course, the light's coming from the back, right? So that's all in Blaine, Washington, where we go very often for dinner. The Americans make much better margaritas than the Canadians do. The Canadians are terrible at margaritas. Absolutely terrible, and they don't make good Mexican food either, at least not in my area. So when you go across to Blaine, Washington, you have this wonderful Mexican restaurant, and they make proper margaritas, and it's just so much more enjoyable. It's very nice that we can do that. Well, we Canadians do other things right, eh? We do a few other things right, eh? But anyway, that's one thing that the Americans definitely do better, is the tacos and the margaritas. They certainly have no idea of how to make that here. So there's the nest there. That's what I'm looking for. That's the nest tree. You see how far it actually is. Such great footage. Thank you, Buffalo1. Thank you very much. Okay, let me read some of your comments here. I'm looking at them again. Carrie216 says, I live in Finger Lakes region of New York State. I think NYS is probably New York State, right? Bald eagles are really making a comeback. I heard that. It's very promising. It's very promising. There are 2 active nests on the property behind my house. That's great. And Pilotman looking forward to Birch Bay, where I'm at. Oh, very nice. And Klingenwater says, we love our margaritas. So you got it, yes. Yes, you can love them. Yeah, there's a nice close-up now. Okay, a bit of noise. There's a big construction truck just reversing in, and they'll soon be gone. Nothing wrong with margaritas, isn't there? Oh, that's fantastic. I'm streaming over an hour now. Just have to check my battery level on my camera and see how that is. 1 second. Let's see how we're doing there. No, we're still fine. We're still fine. That's the only thing I have. There's only one weakness. I have to get one extra battery here for my large camera, but that is something I can easily solve because I'm still running on battery there. I can't do that external power. But that's nothing. That's nothing. I'm still hoping that you'll be able to see the mom and dad because they were there. If I had started earlier, which I didn't want to, you would have seen them. But now they could be sitting on the other side, so we can't see them off the of the eagle tree. Pilot man, thank you so much. I mean, pilot mom, sorry, I should just read properly. Sometimes it's a bit difficult to read the display, so if I misread something, just understand. So pilot mom 975 says, thanks for all you do, Christian. Well, you're most welcome, and thanks for all the, all the donations. We had 3 or 4 donations today, which is really marvelous. And that is, that makes getting up at 5 very easy, packing the things and getting things ready. Because I think, my goodness, there's so many people here who appreciate the wildlife. And this is just so unique. And I said there are many YouTube channels that give excellent wildlife, but there are very few that actually give it live. And there's something so special about doing things live. I mean, the last time I was able to give really good live shows was the Eagle Hawk Nest, right? And that was quite good. I mean, it was very good. I didn't have the equipment I have nowadays, but now I've got the high quality equipment to make it even better. So that's just so marvelous. It looks like the little ones are fast asleep. I think they're fast asleep now. So let's just see. I think they're fast asleep. So are you getting a bit tired now? Because, well, we've been streaming for over an hour and I can continue streaming. But at the moment, they're just sleeping. Well, that's what the little ones do. They'll be much more active, I think, in 2 to 3 weeks, or maybe in even 10 days. Because by that time, I'm just looking at the nest, it's so beautiful, isn't it? Well, by that time, there'll be so much activity going on. Thank you, Klingen Warbird. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to say thank you, Klingen Warbird. Says thank you for the wonderful videos. Well, that's thank you to Klingen Warbird. I'm just scrolling through. Pilot Mum 975. Thank you so much. That is great. I'm just scrolling through all the comments here. Yes, Sandy Williams. Thank you so much for your donation, and thank you, Terry Green, so much for your donation. So that goes right through the stream. So we've had 4 very kind donations. And we really appreciate that. It makes it such a joy, and it's very special to be able to do this. So yeah, so I'm definitely going to continue, but I think at the moment it's just very quiet. Okay, it's very quiet. So probably I'll stop the live stream here. I'll be back tomorrow evening again. Tomorrow evening, because tomorrow morning I've got a commitment, so I can't do that. But tomorrow evening I'll be back, and then Wednesday morning and so on. And I'm sticking to my commitment to you. I said I'm going to be here as much as I can, and I love doing this. Baffled91, thank you too. Proud Cat Mama with awesome broadcast, thank you. And thanks to everyone for being with me, and thanks to Osprey Mama for hosting and helping to co-host this session and making things so much easier. And don't forget to vote, and please give thumbs up. It's so easy, just give thumbs up. It means a lot because it just gives a lot of motivation, and that's what it's all about. And you're doing that anyway, so it's very nice. Thanks, Kerry 2162, and it was amazing to see, wasn't it? So I'm just going to switch over, give you 1 or 2 1 minutes still live, and then I'll get off the air, get a coffee. There's Starbucks nearby. I need some coffee. Well, actually I'm not going to Starbucks, there's another coffee shop. But I need a bit of coffee now to wake up. And I've got some great things I'm not going to tell you. We're doing some great things, especially for those of you who do Patreon and have donated. We've got some incredible footage. I won't tell you. It's all exciting. We're going to do much more footage today, together with Shia. So he's coming later. We're going to do some footage. Then I get to do some many hours of work, and then tomorrow I'll see you again. How's that? So I'll just switch over to the other. Just switch over now. So now you can see the other camera again. Ah, there's one up. Isn't that amazing? Look, there's always something going on, isn't there? There's always something going on. So that's a great last picture. I think, let me just center the little one very nicely here for you. A beautiful view here. So I'm going to let you enjoy that. Thank you, Proud Cat Mama of 3. I think your number always increases. I can't remember. 2, 3, 1, whatever. It's going to be 4 soon, I bet you. See you soon. Okay, so you can see too. Oh, I have to show you this now. Look at that. They always do this. The moment I'm about to sign off, they get active, don't they? That's the way it is. They do this purposely. Okay, now it's getting even a bit too bright, I think. Yeah, that's about the right brightness. It's very difficult for me to see, because it was definitely too bright. But you can see the little ones are also very happy. Okay, so I'm going to sign off now. I wish you a wonderful day, and thank you for being here on Monday morning here at Boundary Bay, close to Blaine actually. And you can hear the birds and the day starting here. It's just wonderful. So wherever you may be, I wish you a wonderful day, and enjoy nature. Enjoy everything we have. We're very grateful for it. Thank you.